Okay, it's day 190. This is part 3, and I want to introduce something called the Gang of 8 Great. Not the Gang of 8 Great like it's a great gang of 8, but the Gang of 8 Great being right over there. You can see that large grate in the middle of the Capitol area, and it just happens to be right over where the Intel Committee sits. So the Gang of 8 Great will be how we would exfiltrate secrets out of actually where that committee room is. I'm going to call it the Gang of 8 Great. The reason why I say the Gang of 8 Great is so important is first to understand the Gang of 8. It's the leadership from the House on both Democrat and Republican, the Senate on this side, the House over there. So you know who those guys are. You've got obviously Pelosi and you've got Paul Ryan, two great patriots. And then, of course, you've got over here, you've got Schumer and you've got McConnell. Now, that's a bad start to your Gang of 8 for your Intelligence Committee. But anytime the president wants to do something, he has to come over like a covert action and get the Gang of 8's approval on it. And that is critical because sometimes there's just not enough time to actually brief the whole House and bring a session to the House. Stuff happens at 3 a.m. in the morning. But there's 4 other people. 2 of them are going to be on the Intel Committee in the Senate, ranking member and the chairman. 2 of them are going to be on the House side. Obviously, you got Devin Nunes over there and Adam Schiff on the House side Intel Committee. And over here, you got Burr, which I believe Burr is right here in this office building right here. Not the Dirksen, not the Hart, but the other one. Can't remember the name right now. And then, of course, the other minority member is Mark Warner of Virginia, not far from where we stand here. So now, the ones we know had access to 3 key committees in the House side over there, okay, which is the Foreign Affairs Committee, very important committee, obviously for, everything, including, ambassadors, approving all the ambassadors, which is a big deal. But then you've also got the Intel Committee over there and the Homeland Security. Homeland Security is bad because that could be cops that are not cooperating with JTTF. Get them. That's nasty. That's what people think is the extent of the Awan stuff, but it's not necessarily true. If they have Nancy Pelosi, and they had Nancy Pelosi, Imran had her password, okay, then they have the Gang of 8, because the Gang of 8's one shared Dropbox. So any work product coming to the Gang of 8, and this is stuff that before the members of Congress on the Intel Committee get it. So any kind of attack, any kind of thing like we were doing in Syria, where we're going to take out a chemical plant or whatever, that would have to be run by the Gang of 8 before you actually do the actual operation. This might be the explanation for that Navy SEAL getting killed around the time of the inauguration, for those 4 soldiers in Niger getting killed about a month after the inauguration. This, again, I'm not talking about something that is, been going on a long time, and that, we have time to figure it out, like the Iran nuclear deal, even though any day nuclear material can be exfiltrated. This is moment to moment. This one thing is moment to moment. And I would just encourage Trump not to fight and resist when the Congress comes out with a special prosecutor protection. I'd say, oh, no, that's a great idea. As a matter of fact, we need 2 special prosecutors with protection. Just ask for parity for everything that they want from Mueller. Ask for the Awan special prosecutor. That's going to get you a lot further than fighting it. Just say, Article 1 of the Constitution, the Senate here is the check. The Senate here is the check on the executive down there by Trump Tower. Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely. You know what? We're going to add a second special prosecutor, by the way, to check the executive. You're going to be checking on me and making sure that we have people investigating those people that are executing or exfiltrating the Gang of 8 Great. The Gang of 8 Great. So the Gang of 8 Great needs to be cut off. We need to close that loop, close that leak down. And I think it's still going there. The way the Senate acted today was a Senate of fear. They were all afraid of that tower down there, Trump Tower. I'll just use at the Trump Hotel. They are shutting down. Grassley's shutting down. He's not pursuing the Robin Gritz whistleblower situation, not pursuing the whistleblower situation with task force. It's just almost like a paralysis has set in, and everybody just wants this to go away for the election cycle. It's not going away in the election cycle. The Awan situation is not going away. Now, a lot of people said, oh, these ambulances came in here to protest the Awan spy ring. I don't believe that's the case. Other people said, no, that's Rayo and Ram. Again, I don't think that's the case. I think it's somebody else probably reacting to my Gang of 8 last live stream potentially. But that's the situation here. Really, Trump needs to call for a special counsel. And it's easy to do. You know how to do it. You know how Comey did it. You just basically go over to the Senate, get him to, or go over to the House, I think, actually. Yeah. Send over a thing to the Department of Justice as a referral, and boom, you got yourself a special counsel. If you fire Mueller and you bring up the Solicitor General, have him do it. I think it requires a special counsel. Just ask Rosenstein to set up a second special counsel. If the answer is no, then sorry, you got to go. We need a special counsel for the Awans. Bring in the Solicitor General and have him go forward and greenlight the project. If the Trump collusion's a problem, one of the hotels being the Trump Tower Hotel right down there, the old Post building in Washington, D.C., if that's a problem, then the Awans right here exfiltrating data out of the Gang of 8, great, and the 3 most important committees over there on the House side, if that's important, then we need a special counsel for that as well. Trump should say, oh, Mueller, you want 150 lawyers? Great, we'll just give 150 lawyers to the special counsel on this side as well. Straight down, parity down the list. So I wanted to introduce the Gang of 8, great, and I wanted to introduce the call for the second special counsel.